Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with your Kaspa crypto live stream, and we have a lot of interesting information to get through in today's stream. Seemingly, the Uphold Kaspa 2.0 document will be coming out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So big alpha in that regard should be coming very soon. We are seeing more Bitcoin Maxis convert to Kaspa thanks to Fred Krueger, no less, which is insane. Also, a speculative post, but one nonetheless that could suggest that Binance are now finally preparing to list Kaspa. And of course, we've got some many big fundamental and macro news to get into as well. The possibility of rate cuts and so much more. I apologize. I do know that I'm going live during Sompolinski's interview. That is actually one of the sources that we got going on right now about how, they're currently live. So it is very counterproductive me going live during Sompolinski's time. But unfortunately, as I was unable to go live at my usual time earlier, I figured if I didn't go live, I wouldn't be going live at all today. And I wanted to still give you your Kaspa content. I'll be watching this on playback at the very least, but if you want to go and tune into Sompolinski as opposed to me, I completely understand. But that being said, we have got a lot of interesting sources to get into today's stream. I'll get through the Kaspa content first, so at the very least you can tune back into Sompolinski when the macro news comes on, if you don't want to listen to the macro news, which I argue is equally as important, but at the same time I get it, it's Sompolinski. I want to listen to Kaspa's founder. That being said, welcome back everyone to the stream. Hope you're having a great day so far. And you've got once more KJI in once again. Like and share. Let's go. Thank you very much, bro. Please follow by example, people. If you can please like the stream, share with your friends, and subscribe if you are new. Turn on the notification bell to spread the word about this community, about Kaspa, and more to come. Wing home, bro. Welcome back to the stream. Second, actually, not third. We moon yet? Not yet. Right now, Mark's going through a bit of a correction. I will explain why today. It's due to some talk from the Fed, but equally from Kanye West. Ye launching a meme coin, which, like, it was never not going to happen, but it, of course, has dumped heavily after launching. And, of course, that would have liquidated quite a bit of capital from the market. Not the sole reason, but it is definitely a contributing factor today. Welcome back, Cash Jing, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well indeed, my man. Lao as well, brother. Welcome back indeed. Buying some capital today. Big up, Wing Hong. Love to hear that. Next bull run will all be about utility and real world assets. Thoughts on NAR or thoughts on that? 100%. I think you're going to start seeing that already this cycle, truth be told. But going into the next cycle, most definitely, that will be 100% all about utility assets, protocol projects, real world assets. Think projects and I guess crypto companies, because we're still very much in that stage, but crypto projects and companies are actually building utility. They are going to get so much more adoption, and that'll be a fantastic time for Kaspa to shine out on what source, well, a lot more so as well. That still doesn't take away from this cycle for me still being a big one where FOMO still matters, but it's quickly converting into utility, and Kaspa for me has both. FOMO may not be high right now, but I think that FOMO is going to come through with what catalysts are still to come out this cycle, be it smart contracts, stable coins, KRI, potential tier 1 listing, which again could happen soon. And yes, Kryptoni, I know the fact that I am live during Sompolinski's interview is criminal of me, and I do apologize for that. You can have both on at the same time. Hopefully you can listen to both at the same time. But I get it. I do apologize for that. I did realize he was going live, but it's going to be a long stream. So I was just, I just didn't know when to not go live. I didn't want to go live 2 hours later. I want to give everyone an opportunity to still tune in. Worst case, you can watch this on playback as well and get tuned into what's happening right now. But you can see, yes, it's currently happening where Vlad, who's Bitcoin Maxi, or he talks a lot to regarding Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Takeover podcast, Sompolinski basically explaining more about Kaspa's proof of work and ultimately how it can solve certain issues that Bitcoin can't achieve due to scalability reasons. Welcome back, Buffalo, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. Where is the interview, Tony? I'll link this in the Discord server right now. It's on YouTube, but I'll link this in the Discord server right here and now in the Kaspa channel. So, I mean, actually, shout out to Nee. Nee's already done it, but I'll link it myself as well. So yeah, if you go into my free Discord server, which I highly recommend checking out because you can find all the information in there, and I can't link stuff on the YouTube live chat section. It doesn't let you click on links. So if you check out my free community, the links to join are on my homepage and also down in the description. You can find many sources in there. Just full disclosure, those who are already a part of the community, I do realize, at least from my perception, it's quite cluttered. So I do plan to do a bit of spring cleaning and try to make it easier to navigate. There'll be certain channels that will be removed or at least temporarily disabled, but it's just because I think it will make it more user friendly and also for new users as well to not get, overbearing of what's going on there. But you can find the Kaspa channel will still stay there, of course, don't worry about that. And yes, you will be able to find all Kaspa sources in there as well. But yeah, that's where you can find it right there. Welcome back, Falco bro. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Good to have you here once again. I didn't know Sompolinski was live. Yes, he is currently live, so go tune in if you want to already. We should be watching it here. I mean, we can definitely put on part of it right now. I don't want to completely just rip off Vlad's content. I mean, there's currently 5,800 people viewing it, which is a very big deal. And I mean, I know I'm not the biggest Kaspa community channel out there, but there's no doubt that there'll be Bitcoin maxis who are looking into this as well, because the biggest community in regards to Kaspa that I know of would be Crypto Galaxy. He doesn't go live very much on YouTube, but when he does go live, he probably gets, I think, tuning in a few hundred, and then once a whole stream is been and done, it'll probably reach the tens of thousands. But he's got 5,800 currently viewing it, so there's definitely going to be Bitcoin maxis who are tuning into this, therefore learning about Kaspa, which is a very big deal. Bitcoin maxis are more of them are converting to start looking into Kaspa, which is a very big deal. So I will probably put this on. If it's still ongoing by the time the stream's ongoing, I'll put a little bit on if we listen to it a little bit in real time. But I don't want to shamelessly rip off Vlad's content. And again, we can always watch it on playback as well. I'll be watching this on playback myself to then depict any information from that, and again, probably make a video on that later this week, on the weekend, or even next week as well. But I will, it's currently there. If you want to watch it, feel free. But yeah, I will contemplate it. I mean, we can turn it on right now whilst I'm talking a little bit and still doing introductions. So let me quickly turn it on right now and hear what's going on.
The normie user base.
But yeah, welcome back, Tony, bro. You're doing very well, and you see Double D, brother.
It's a choice that
what is something
I think Kaspa couldn't afford in terms of adoption and integration. But once we implement the ZKP opcode, people would be able to choose to use it. It won't be the default address, if I recall correctly. Even in Zcash, the shielded transactions weren't default, but it will still have its merits.
Yeah, it's really nice if the adoption of Kaspa happens organically, with users setting up their own wallets, running nodes, and being their own bank. Because in Bitcoin, I see the narrative shifting with even the people who are very adamant that you should hold your own keys. Now they're saying, maybe that the average
Hello,
person
you're doing
is
very well. Welcome back to the
have
channel.
some difficulties
Having a great day so far. We're kind of just
maybe
tuning
it's
into
better to just buy ETFs or
to
whatever.
this podcast from Sompolinski.
I don't like it because
Taylor,
the whole point of this movement was to get people to hold their own keys. If you don't hold your own keys and you don't use your own wallet and you don't validate your transactions, we go back to PayPal, basically. And honestly, that's really not the reason why we're here.
I mean, I think that's a very great point there personally. And again, I'm sure Krypton is very much going to be messaging about that as well. But again, that's why we want to have true decentralized crypto projects, because everything else in the space, your XRPs, your XLMs, your Algorands, while they are in the payment space and also in that regard, and also have good institutional connections, even Zebek in that regard as well, they're crypto companies, so they are effectively PayPal. But we don't want to necessarily be going back to PayPal. Now, I still think that these crypto projects, companies, will still do well the coming months, years, and stuff to follow. But if we can get to a stage, which I've actually spoke about this. Let me see if I can find the document in my VIP community. I posted a document here where even fintech leaders were highlighting that highlighting that at some point, hopefully, we will revert back to a stage where we actually are trying to find true ownership again, as opposed to what's happened right now. Which, let me try and find the interview, and I'll play it out. Whilst I do that, I'll keep playing this stream.
And I'm happy that there are a bunch of people in the chat who are enthusiastic and they're recommending wallets, and I think this is the nicest part of this whole industry, the fact that people can hold their own keys and manage their own coins and do whatever they want without asking for anyone's permission.
Definitely, and specifically in the case of Kaspa community, there are lots of the spread of information about wallets and how to use this. As you saw, I'm not the best candidate to explain how to use these stuff, and it's very nice to see that people have lots of experience in doing these things on their own. I did have, oh yeah, so I wanted to double down on what you said. I strongly agree with you. I think that the lack of user-friendly wallets for normies, not for people that are tech savvy, is a big barrier. And I really like the smart wallets. Now they are called account abstraction. Now they're under the umbrella of account abstraction, which is social recovery, but not through signing, the ledger and sending it. It's not recorded it's not recorded off chain, but it's recorded rather in consensus. So you can do things like in consensus, declare policies of the sort. If this other address wants to take all of my claims that I lost my keys and wants to take my coins, then after maybe 6 months of me not responding, allow them to take I don't know, 2% per day. You can do these policies, and of course you can generalize it to multi-sigs and to K out of N. But the point is that you implement these general policies on chain in a way that doesn't require your grandma to supervise the whole process.
And again, that's Sompolinski and expertise regarding smart wallets as well, and how again we do definitely see them to help onboard more crypto normies. Because thank you very much, Jedi Jason, for the $4.99 donation. Absolutely, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, honestly, cannot thank you enough for that. Appreciate it very much, brother. I won't be playing the whole of this podcast from Sompolinski. Of course, I will jump in and out here and there and play some parts of it. It's a 2-hour long podcast, 2 hour long. So,
and do this.
It's something that I'm definitely going to be going through in due time as well. But as it stands right now, yeah, I mean, this is going to be something very, very interesting. And we saw when it was live that there was over 6,000 people currently tuned into watching that, which is insane. Any updates on those top 5 wallets that accumulated or tier 1s? We do have some updates. I'm not sure they've been fully updated just yet, but they are being updated as we speak. The Kaspa community have kind of banded together to try and add the tags to the wallets. So we still don't know who wallet 2 is, which currently is seen 2 Kaspa today, which I'm assuming means they've sent quite a bit. Okay, that's quite a small amount. Equally quite small. Yeah, that was a. So yes, we've seen wallet 2 doing some activity today, some very small Kaspa transactions back and forth. So wallet 2, still don't know who that one is. We have wallet 3, which we believe to be KuCoin, which needs to be added. A tag needs to be added to that soon enough. We believe it to be KuCoin's wallet. Wallet 4 is definitely Kraken's wallet, which is currently now going through a phase of redistribution, because Kraken's wallet I think is now at 14. Here 18. But Kraken's wallet, this one here is definitely Kraken's wallet, and they're starting to shift capital to their next Kraken wallet, which you can see here. Wallet 5, you can see, is Uphold, then it's Bybit. Wallet 7, 8, and 9, I haven't looked too much into. So right now, we are aware of 3 being KuCoin, 4 being Kraken. Tags are here for the one. We don't know who Wallet 2 is just yet, unfortunately. There's still no definitive answer who that one is. If you look at Wallet 7 real quick, I don't think there's any definitive answer on who this wallet might be. All these wallets are unknown. Kaspa Faucet, I'm not even sure what that's referring to. So I'm not sure who Wallet 7 is. And then 8 or 9 equally, I think we're in a similar predicament. We haven't got a proper idea just yet. But I know that there was a incentive from the people who are kind of on Kaspa as well, who are saying we're going to band together to start looking into these wallets closer to actually add tags to them so we know who they are. But yeah, this is Wallet 8, I believe. No, Wallet 8. And we don't know who this one is just yet. And this is Wallet 8. That's Wallet 9. This is Wallet 8 here. Wallet 8 looks like it also might be a Kraken wallet as well, considering the transactions being mainly Kraken as well. So yeah, Kraken's got quite a few wallets, it looks like. So I'd like to depict then. There's Kraken wallet going out. Yeah, so to my understanding, therefore, we know Wallet 1 is Maxis, Wallet 2 we don't know, Wallet 3 is KuCoin, Wallet 4 is Kraken, Uphold, Bybit, unknown, Kraken, unknown. So there's currently 10 wallets. So we don't know who 7, 9, and 2 is right now. But hopefully we'll find out soon enough. And I'll also do my best to try and reach out to Kaspa and ask if they can put the tags for those wallets, if that is the case as well, because that seems to be the case. This is, again, Kraken's wallet, stuff like that. You can always check it out. Just click on the wallet and just see where the transactions are going back and forth as well. Now I might come back to Sompolinski a little bit later on, but I want to, get off with the content right now. So 15 minutes in, get on to what's going on today with Kaspa and crypto. Kaspa is now entering a new phase. Buckle up, everyone, countdown. I do believe, Edwardson, that we are entering a very new stage for Kaspa where adoption is going to start rallying quicker and quicker. Uphold did announce that Dr. Martin Heidberg's latest Kaspa deep dive is going to be published to retail on September 4th, which September 4th is exactly 2 weeks from now, 14 days. So that will be very interesting. We can see here, Dr. Martin Heidberg said it himself, since you're also impatient, and I'm still putting the final touches on the full report, which will be available to our institutional Uphold OTC client base. Here's a preview. So here's a preview of basically what he's talking about here. Ever feel lost in the crypto world, bouncing between different chains and wallets just to make one simple transaction? They're not alone. The biggest challenge in crypto today is fragmentation, a universe of isolated chains and tokens that don't talk to each other. One solution is focused on bridgeless interoperability with Quant as the thought leader here. That's the reason why Quant is also a very sought after asset in the sort of similar bracket to XRPs and HBARs and XLMs, because they are ones who are kind of helping connect to the banks and bridge seamlessly between different chains. But there's a new approach that could change everything. My team at Uphold Research is finding published an in-depth report on how Kaspa is taking on this problem. It's an ambitious project that's not only supercharging its base layer, but also pioneering a new way for different crypto ecosystems to work together seamlessly. Which Sompolinski did mention that. We did hear that actually briefly here, where he's talking about how Kaspa kind of going to help. Their new VProgs, the new ZKs coming out, it'll be kind of used as an option. You could choose to use it, which again is kind of help. Again, it's the option, right? The option which I think beneficial to help in interoperability as well. The idea is to have all the speed and scalability of separate chains with a unified experience of just one, able to connect to all others securely, and ultimately quantum resistance too. That's not been fully done just yet, but we're looking into it now. We showcased that yesterday. And then, of course, they explore this more and more, including what fragmentation really means and why it's a huge problem for users and developers, the base rollup model on how it's different from what other networks are doing. Kaspa's vision is to create a single unified ecosystem where everything is connected, running at the speed of the internet itself, and enjoyed none other than the scalability issues of linear chains. We believe that block DAG tech is essential and inevitable as the next step in the evolution of blockchain. with admirable dedication and prowess from Sompolinski, who again is currently in a podcast. He's been working on this concept for over 10 years, and yes, there'll be an X-Base or webinar with him very soon with Uphold. Very interesting. This article gives you the highlights, but there's a lot more in the complete report, so that is effectively what this Kaspa 2.0 is going to be. Some may perceive it as a nothing burger. For me, I would personally perceive it as further conviction from Uphold and, you know, a more solid foundation on where they stand with Kaspa right now. And again, they might have a bit more insight, maybe some more alpha in a sense of what they believe for Kaspa and why it's going to be a very big deal in the full report that's coming out in 2 weeks' time. Again, Sompolinski being a big part of that. Currently, again, a live stream going on right now, Sompolinski, which I'm going to quickly refresh the page to see what the current live count is. And again, keep in mind, while again I accept I'm not, you know, the biggest Kaspa community KOL, and you know I kind of like it like that, but at the same time, the biggest content creator for Kaspa that I know that when he does go live will probably be CG Crypto Galaxy, and I think when he actually is alive, he gets a few hundred, maybe even to 1,000 on occasion. Live people who are watching live, maybe 2-3K. I haven't looked at him while he's live for a while, but this is a Bitcoin podcast with Vlad, with Sompolinski here, that has currently 6,785 views. So in my belief, therefore, a lot of them will probably be Bitcoiners who are now hearing about Sompolinski and about Kaspa, and just purely how Sompolinski talks, which, I mean,
value.
We can hear it here.
Or the cultural value, rather, of educating people about responsibility and taking care of their own passwords.
And then just a small snippet again. I want to continue now going on to my segment now, so I don't want to hold on it too much right now. But effectively, yes, what Bitcoiners are going to hear from this is not someone who's saying, buy Kaspa, buy Kaspa, buy Kaspa. That's not what somebody says. He talks tech, he talks fact, he talks about the vision he has for crypto. And of course, when they know he's the founder of Kaspa and therefore what Kaspa's trying to provide as well, that will intrigue them more and more to look into the project. And we're seeing block deck interest exploding worldwide. Of course, Kaspa's the one leading that revolution right now, which is really, really cool. And we'll also, I'll get to that later on, we know that Bitcoin is now at risk of 51% attack because 2 mining pools, Foundry US and Ant Pool, cover control over 51% of the hash power, whereas, of course, Kaspa right now, 85% unknown miners, individuals. So Kaspa is, by and large, therefore, de facto more decentralized than Bitcoin, technically. But we've got the very, very interesting thread here. Fred Krueger stated, people investing their life savings in Kaspa are like Darwin Award recipients. And in Ninja here basically goes back and forth here, saying how Kaspa holders probably think they found the next Bitcoin. And Kaspa Lady here basically just kind of goes back and forth between Ninja, not in any disrespectful way, but just kind of talking about the actual ethos of Kaspa and relating that to what Bitcoin's trying to do as well. And he goes back and forth here to the point there where eventually Ninja says here, more research to be done on Kaspa for me, thank you. How come I've not heard much about the community or Kaspa at large? They were talking about how it relates to MySpace as well, Bitcoin to Kaspa as well. And you got it here, you know, Fred's post has legit made more Bitcoin maxis start to look at Kaspa now. Those who are not blinded by ignorance and are actually willing to learn more. And you have people, again, the community who are willing to just talk. And you're not here saying you're an idiot for getting into Bitcoin, because we don't believe that. People who are holding Kaspa, for the most part, also understand and respect Bitcoin as well. But we understand that Kaspa is achieving something that Bitcoin cannot achieve. And look, if you look at the example here, institutions buy Bitcoin because it is safe, obvious choice, like buying gold in the 1970s. But safety does not mean future-proof. Bitcoin solved money in 2009, but it stopped evolving. Kaspa is proof of security and scaling together, something Bitcoin never will. If adoption alone determines winners, MySpace would still rule social media. Security and adoption are important, but adaptability is survival. That's where Kaspa shines. And then he's like, adaptability matters, yes, but MySpace didn't lose to a slower platform. Facebook was faster and better, to be honest. It's like, you're right, MySpace didn't lose to something slower. It lost to something that was faster and better and more usable every single day. That's exactly why Kaspa exists. This Bitcoin maximalist, and shout out to Ninja here, he made an argument, going back and forth, as you do, and he made a point which completely proved why Kaspa is the next step. Completely proves it here. And talk about MySpace here. It lost because Facebook was faster and better. Kaspa is that. If Bitcoin is MySpace, Kaspa is Facebook. That's literally the comparison, therefore. And that alone was enough for Ninja to be like, okay, fair enough, I need to look more into Kaspa. I'm surprised I've not heard more about it. And that was thanks to Fred making this post here. Fed has been trying to FUD Kaspa, and inherently and unintentionally, he has now brought more awareness to Kaspa as a result. So welcome to the community here. He currently had 955 followers. You look at him right now, 1,103. He's already received 150 followers in the span of a day, just by now being a Kaspa researcher. He's starting to take more interest into Kaspa. He's not even a Maxi in Kaspa yet. He wants to start looking into it. That alone's garnered him a lot more followers, which of course I'll add to that as well. But this is, again, once more, why there's so much I literally don't know, and that's what we are hoping more and more Bitcoin messages are going to do with Kaspa. People like Sompolinski doing this podcast right now, with 7,000 people viewing it, will bring more Bitcoiners to Kaspa as well. Not guaranteeing as such, but the Bitcoin maxis who do decide to ask questions and are realizing, oh, you know what, you actually make a point here, I might just do a little bit of research into Kaspa. And from my knowledge, those who have actually done completely open-minded research into Kaspa, unbiased research into Kaspa, they have decided to hold the asset just as a hedge. Not necessarily believing it's going to do the next big thing, but as a hedge. Bitcoin's where all the smart money and big money will go to. Kaspa's for everyday people. But again, adaptability is we should know that humans, right? We are the most superior species on the earth, of the planet, because our best skill is adaptability. Of course, if you're having a fight 1v1 versus a shark in the water or a bear, like, we'd lose. Except for the fact that in real life, if you're trying to fight a bear, well, we have weapons we can use now. Guns. That's adaptability. Learning how to create other tools as a means of survival. Against a shark, a bit extreme, you could use a submarine. But the point being is, we are adaptable, and that's why we survive. Adaptability by survival. Bitcoin is restrictive. And that's what people are going to start learning more and more Bitcoin as it comes to Kaspa will bring more adoption to the project and send its price higher. For me, the FOMO is still going to come through the cycle, and years to follow will be even more impressive as well. Casplex are going to be having their AMA very, very soon, August 23rd, in 2 days' time, 8 p.m. Beijing time, and then following that, they'll end up sharing the key updated insights from the session as well, which is very, very cool. So hopefully they'll give us some good insights as well, because their mainnet is literally 10 days away now, less than 10 days away now. It's 9 days away now. We are so very close to seeing the mainnet launch for smart contracts. And we're seeing here, piece by piece, everything is coming together. We've got Fervent Finance here as well, who is, beta 1 is now live with the Casplex testnet. So it's, again, something more stuff being built on Kaspa as well. The first lending and borrowing platform on the Kaspa ecosystem, we can see right here. Because Kaspa Door is the one posting this, I'm choosing to believe that they are safe, but as always, we don't have to repeat of ProperFi. People thought ProperFi was safe as well. They acted in accordance. So do your own research, trade at your own discretion, be careful what you get into. I know Kaspa EVM currently have their pre-sale going on right now, which I'm not partaking in because they are... I'm not particularly confident in them because they've come out of the woodworks after 2 months of silence and just announced a pre-sale of stuff like that, and I'm like, but I don't know what you're building to the fullest extent, so I don't know what it is you're doing. Again, I'm not saying that Kaspa EVM are bad, but I'm just raising awareness of what's happening in the community right now. A lot of buildings coming through, which is fantastic, but you've got to do your own research to make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of. But we're seeing again, adoption for Kaspa is going to come through more and more. Ophod got a big document coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm politically talking to Bitcoiners right now and the vast community with 10,000 people watching right now. Kaspa will be doing the AMA very, very soon. Blockdac interest is exploding worldwide. This one I'm going to get into in a very short moment. Speculative Binance listing. Bitcoin becoming more centralized and Kaspa therefore being another solution for the time being, or being the solution therefore, and Bitcoin is starting to look more and more into Kaspa, which is very, very big news. So I want to get to this Binance post because I'm sure people will be asking. I'm probably still saying it's not going to happen, but we'll still look into this. So Crypto Titan found this here. Binance has removed the Kaspa on Polygon Web3 wallet support. What does this mean? Now, of course, say it once more, don't be emotional, be logical. This could just simply be a nothing burger. And I'm going to break down all the possible scenarios of what this means, because there are many implications for this, because we don't know. We're not Binance. But it can mean many things. On the kind of the neutral side of things, we do know, or we should know at least, that Binance had stated previously that they are going to end support of other networks for certain products like NFT marketplace, removing Polygon support and whatnot. So they could just be trying to streamline their product offering. Therefore, they remove Polygon. It could also be a case of the transition between Matic to Polygon as well. Polygon is, in the process of upgrading their native token from Matic to Polygon. So that could also be a reason why it happened. In the speculative side of things, it could be a case of Binance potentially preparing for a Kaspa listing, because Binance Web3 wallet may be prioritizing the native networks of the tokens it supports, which we know Binance has been talking to Kaspa since 2023. And we know, again, exchanges like Uphold are very, very interested and very bullish on Kaspa and believing that it is the next inevitable evolution of blockchain, an essential evolution of blockchain, the block DAG. So Binance, therefore, may be preparing to jump onto block DAG as well with a unique architecture, which therefore may not mean it's compatible with Polygon. And it could be, so it could be a shift to focus on Kaspa's own ecosystem, which is being rapidly developing more and more smart contracts coming out very, very soon. So again, we don't know what this really means. It doesn't guarantee a Binance listing. For me, I do think Binance will list Kaspa. It's still in the not too distant future. Again, we don't know when. We don't know when, and also the implications of what that means for the price of Kaspa as well. But it is an interesting development. And for me, if I'm being completely transparent and blunt, I think it's just a case of them trying to streamline their process to remove Polygon for the time being. But I wouldn't go against the speculation that it's because they're potentially looking to diverse and bridge to a Kaspa native blockchain, with the block DAG being it a lot more unique, quicker, and more secure as well. We do believe as Kaspa holders that in the future to be, everything will be coming on Kaspa because it's, more efficient, it's decentralized, it's secure. So that also means that exchanges could do the same thing as well. And Binance have been talking to Kaspa since 2023 December time or November time for almost 2 years straight. And we heard from Wolfie's interview with XXIM with Ankit that they're still actively, daily talking to the team, asking questions, tech questions about what's going on with Kaspa right now. Maybe because they want to understand it more so they can end up bridging their whole exchange onto the Kaspa platform as well. So speculative talk, of course, nothing confirmation there, but for me it's very, very interesting. And maybe indicate what's coming to Kaspa very, very soon. Just as a quick Zebek update as well, they're currently teaming up with World Mobile to launch the ZebekNet, a data-only eSIM network built on the World Mobile decentralized infrastructure and made exclusively for the Zebek ecosystem, which very cool for Zebek, covered in over 70 countries and optimized for real-time financial transactions. Again, they're a crypto company. Are they safer than Kaspa? That is up for debate. I would personally say Kaspa is the strongest and safest asset in this space because it's decentralized and actually fair launch. But that did not take away from crypto companies still having quite a strong hold on this space because how the space has evolved with crypto companies. And Zebek, I think, will still do very big into cycle. Currently, Zebek is up 0.18%. It's not really moving much today, but is currently valued at around 0.045. The market right now is, for the most part, down. Bitcoin down to 112. I have been seeing other reliable sources of mine saying maybe coming down to 108k, which is something we did highlight in yesterday's stream as a possibility, and our VIP also know about that as well. ETH, therefore, will come back down to this zone here of just below 4k. For me, again, as I highlighted yesterday, as long as Ethereum does not go below that and Bitcoin does not go below 108k, Kaspa will hold 8 cents. Otherwise, if we go below 108k Bitcoin and 4k Ethereum, like 3.9k Ethereum, Kaspa will likely drop below 8 cents here as well. But I'm hoping Kaspa will be at least very least hold that right now. Kaspa currently down 2.49% on the daily time frame. Still in this buy zone right now, and again trading in this zone. I do think again with smart contracts so close, Kaspa could see some FOMO ahead of it, especially if stablecoins do come on board, especially if Binance end up launching as well, and especially if more Bitcoiners, thanks to people like Sompolinski, learn more about Kaspa and decide, like Ninja and like VJ and like Bitcoin AJ and like so many more, start to look into Kaspa as another interesting evolution into crypto that actually stays true to the ethos of Bitcoin. Tomorrow, Powell speaks, pullback or... I mean, it's a great question. It's tough to determine because for me, I anticipate Jerome Powell will be very hawkish. So you might see a pullback. But at the same time, today's correction in the market may be because people are expecting a hawkish stance. Therefore, they're pricing in Jerome Powell's sentiment. So my answer is it's going to probably be, I expect maybe a pullback or consolidation. I'm not expecting, and maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I pray I'm wrong. Hopefully it's dovish, but I'm not expecting crypto to pump tomorrow. I'm expecting maybe a pullback or consolidation sideways. And we've got other sources to take into account today as to why the market's correcting, but I'll get to that in a moment. Welcome back. Basil, you're doing very, very well. If it's not for God first, and then you, I would have sold all my Kaspa 1 year ago. Well, yeah, of course, definitely put God first, and I appreciate that I've been able to keep your conviction with Kaspa strong. And again, of course, you do your own research, I hope. But from what we cover in Kaspa continuously, and what from we know from the community, and again, with my plan to revamp the Discord, I do plan to occasionally post some of my alpha source from the VIP as well to give people an inkling of what I talk about in there as well. But the sources we cover in there give us a stronger indication of why this cycle and why it's going to do well, and more so why Kaspa is still going to be a great, great asset. And actually, speaking of that, we can get into this document here that I preloaded ages ago and forgot about. This is one of my alpha documents that I, discovered. It's only got 2,000 views, very, very small here, from Joe Cutler. He's one of these so-called fintech leaders here, and in this document here, this is fintech lead. You've got David Schwartz there as well from XRP and many other leaders from fintech as well here. But this is a very interesting interview here, and many people don't even know about this interview here. But what Joe talks about here is how crypto hasn't democratized much yet. So Joe Cutler, by the way, he was previously representing Washington State's first licensed Bitcoin company, CoinMe. And in an interview here, he acknowledges the significant adoption coming to crypto, the fact that we're going to see trillions coming very, very soon. And of course, we all should be excited for that. Even now, we've got a lot more time. However, he voices his concerns that many, which many already have and more probably will do as well, have become blinded and will lose their way of why crypto was originally created. Crypto was created to give power back to the individual, to us, the consumer, not to the banking cartels and the centralized entities. Which is why he said crypto hasn't democratized much yet. And there will be a stage, therefore, which he hopes and I believe as well, where crypto leaders or fintech leaders or whatever, they all reflect on the critical ethos of crypto, democratization, decentralization, and that will be where Kaspa thrives the best, being the only asset in history to solve dilemmas. Listen very closely here to this segment, this clip from the interview here.
There's two things in all of it. We could talk for a year about this, but there's two things that I would say in summary that I worry about. One is the original mission of the early blockchain project, and I'm so glad that people from Ripple are here, right? Because you get this. Is to democratize access to the control over value, and that's not happening in the institutional rebuild. We haven't democratized much, in my opinion. And I worry about that. I worry that this, and then the second thing is it was also destined to sort of remake the value propositions of aggregation of wealth, money, power, and control into a more balanced system than it was before. And I don't see that happening either in the march towards institutional adoption. And so while we're all excited about new technology, we're all excited about what we can do. We can make a trade faster on a stock exchange. We can make less friction across borders. I just hope that we get out the map once in a while and remind ourselves what country we're in, not what road we're on.
That is literally screaming Kaspa. You could look at XRP and their XRP ledger, which is technically decentralized, but Ripple's a centralized entity behind them. You can look at all these projects in this crypto space. All of them claim decentralization, but they have centralized entities and crypto companies backing them. So while the march towards institutional adoption is fantastic, seeing more money coming in, it hasn't democratized much yet. It's not for the people. Kaspa is literally right now the only asset that is for the people, because Bitcoin, as highlighted here, Bitcoin is very much the safe option for institutions. And it's currently also very much controlled now by institutions. Kaspa is still very, very small and very decentralized. So in that regard, therefore, also very democratized comparatively to any other project in this space. So this for me will be where, not if, for me, when we do get out the map once in a while to realize while we're here, what country we're in, democratization of crypto, why we originally got into crypto, that is when Kaspa will thrive. Because it's also building the tech necessary to be able to handle all the wealth having the speed scalability necessary with the block DAG architecture. It's 10 BPS, soon to be 100, well, soon, eventually to be 100. DAG Knight, the smart contract ZK is coming through. Sompolinski again will help onboard more of these Bitcoiners as well. Not Sompolinski, but we as a community, Kaspa will help onboard more of them, bringing them to the understanding of why Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is and why Kaspa was created for the people. This is one of many, many documents and videos that I post to my VIPs. I recommend definitely checking out the free community where you can tune in and learn a lot more about crypto in general anyways, and I will make it much more user-friendly for new users as well, so you can not get overwhelmed by that. But if you want to learn a lot more, definitely check out the VIP, because the information we cover like this is just one of many. We've covered documents from Signum Bank, from JP Morgan. We are in an institutional cycle, so what they say has a lot of relevance and a lot of impact and importance, but we know based on the information provided there when the cycle is going to push, or what they're looking out for, what their plan is for crypto, and then we can correlate that to projects we're currently looking at and holding. So if you want to find out more, check out the VIP. You can join for free for a week, 7-day free trial. Equally, you can join for a month for free if you sign up to BYDFI, an exchange that I'm affiliated with no KYC and no VPN, and they've got regulatory licenses in Canada, the United States, Australia, Ethiopia, and many more regions as well. Links about that also down below in the description. But you can also find that in my free Discord community as well, in the Get VIP Access channel. And they're currently doing a Bitcoin trader campaign. You can win $10,000 worth of Bitcoin if you participate. So if you want to find out more, again, links are available in my Discord community, my free one. Definitely go check that out. I'm so tired of the price, but when I see your videos, there's so much going on with Kaspa, and that's precisely why I do it. Trying to once more remind you all to not be emotional and think logically, while the price is frustrating and definitely been one of the hardest, if not the hardest bull cycle in history. Only Bitcoin and Ethereum and in a sense XRP and Solana as well are the ones that are actually doing well. And Sui actually. Sui has done very, very well comparatively in the year. But by and large, every other altcoin is just struggling. Kaspa is in the same boat. But when we see what's coming to Kaspa and we understand how market tends to move, and also if you are part of my community, you know what's coming to this space, ETF filings, institutional adoption, the whole works. And again, with Kaspa as well, smart contracts, stable coins, KRI, tier 1 listing potentials as well. We should be optimistic about Kaspa. In the next cycle, of course, will be fantastic. There's no doubt in my mind. I think we all can agree and attest to that. But I still think we've got a lot more time in this cycle. Really do. Why aren't there equal representation of women in Kaspa? I mean, guess they're not programmers, really. If they are very, smart, programmers and developers, and they want to help, then they will. But I guess it's to my knowledge, programming and developing in regards to tech is predominantly dominated by men. To my knowledge, which is limited to be fair. So don't take my word for that. So what's the name Bitcoin? Oh yeah, I did see clips about that. How some places had a turtle named Bitcoin, which is hilarious. Talk, kind of a little jab at how Bitcoin is just very, very slow, like a turtle. Who is 2? Unfortunately, we don't know who 2 is. We still don't know. We speculate it's Binance or market maker. We know that 4 is Kraken and 8 is Kraken and 3 is KuCoin, but we don't know who 7, 9, or 2 is. Hopefully, there'll be an update soon, as the community as we do, to try and find out who these people are, and we'll add the tags to the wallets. Right now, wallet 4 is going through a bit of a redistribution, that being Kraken wallet to go into other wallets as well. We've been seeing. Is there a chance to grow Kaspa like ETH did in the past? Adoption? Yes. Because Kaspa, with the smart contracts, is going to be compatible with Ethereum. So you can have Ethereum tools and dApps built and bridged to Kaspa and built on Kaspa because of EVM. Kaspa is going to be interoperable with Ethereum. And Ethereum, as we've seen, has already really congested and slow. And institutions who are building on Ethereum will realize that and hate that. It's going to be faster than already what they have, but you've got so much amazing tech in this space that why would you stay on something that's slow and incumbent? It's got the best interoperability, but that's the best thing. Because it's interoperable, you build an Ethereum and then you bridge to the better chain, or better blockchain, or block DAG, being Kaspa. So the answer to your question is yes, right path. There will be a right path. Welcome back, Nathan. Kaspa is doing very, very well. And you too, Greg. Them to sell before tomorrow. That's not a bad shout. There is a possibility we do dump tomorrow. So speaking of which, let's get into some of the other fundamental posts real quickly. So we got this post here from the Kobe's letter. Actually, we'll get to that a little bit later on regarding tariff news. We got this here. Fed member Hammock says she does not see a case for September rate cuts after recent data, which is partly one the market is correcting as well. Therefore, anticipating Jerome Powell to have a very hawkish stance, and there being no rate cuts right now. If you look at CME right now, because CME currently has a percentage chance of rate cuts. It's currently hovering at around, when it wants to load up, 73%, so it's coming down a bit more, so which is unfortunate. But in saying that, there is this post here, this video from Fox Business, where BlackRock's Rick Ryder, he's still talking about Jerome Powell's replacement, and even then highlighting that the Fed still could slash rates by 50 basis points in September, which, unlikely, truth be told, but if that does happen, that'd be very, very big. So listen very closely to this interview here as well.
Studio is someone whose name has been floated as a candidate to replace Powell. He's BlackRock Global Fixed Income CIO and Global Allocation Team Head Rick Ryder. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But Rick, get right to it.
Okay.
What is Powell going to say if you had to guess?
So my guess is he's going to talk about balance. He's going to talk about they're well positioned. When you read the minutes, you talk about they're still concerned about you have some elevated inflation. I don't think it's that scary a number. You're still running inflation. So core PCE the last 3 months, you're on about 2.8. But I think they're going to talk about elevated inflation. They're at a good place today to move. Listen, I think ultimately they're going to cut in September. I think they can cut further. I think they can cut faster. But I think he's going to talk about balance. The economy's in a good position and that they're well placed to do it. I mean, personally, I think they can go faster, but
let's say.
No, I'm not going to play out the whole 2-minute interview, but I will repost this in my free Discord community again. So once more, if you want to find out information, be able to read through articles for yourself, which you should be doing your own research. My free community there is available where you can learn more stuff that I post and also use that to help devise your own trading strategies and your investing strategies as well. But, Rick Ryder is one of the candidates to become the next Fed chair to replace Powell, and he believes the Fed has the room to slash rates quite significantly to 50 basis point, and he thinks we'll see a neutral stance of anything from Jerome Powell on Friday. I'm anticipating hawkish personally after the Fed minutes that we saw on Wednesday, which was hawkish, and equally what other members are saying as well, which is hawkish. So I'm expecting a more hawkish stance, but this does therefore give us the implication that 8K, insane. Let's give us the implication, therefore, that the next Fed chair will be very much dovish for the most part, which may be a good thing. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We got other, but it's again, why crypto, I'm not worried about it, and why I still think we've got more room to run. We've got posts like this, where the Fed Reserve Governor Wallace says stablecoins and other cryptocurrencies are part of the payments revolution, and Kaspa is a big part of that as well. You've got posts like this, courtesy of Greg, I think, who put this in. Was it Greg? Let me double check. Give them their kudos. It was Greg. Yes, it was Greg. Which highlighted, that Brazil is now holding the first hearing on a $19 billion Bitcoin reserve strategy, which is fantastic, which is a very, very big deal. Once more proof that crypto adoption is growing more and more. The smart money, the big money is going to Bitcoin. Kaspa's for the smaller people. And then there's another post here quickly before I get to more questions and then come back full circle as well. And maybe finish off some more Sompolinski live stream here as well. Just be careful what you invest into. Kanye published his own meme coin today. And if you remember what happened with Trump, with Hawk 2, just don't do it. Just don't do it. This is Dex Screener right now. This is Kanye's coin, YZY, Yeezy. Look what's happened to Yeezy when it decides it wants to load. I need to redo my internet, honestly. I need to relog my whole internet. I think it's just bugging out. But you can see right now, look. Launched 2-3 days ago. Look at that. From nothing, soared to 400 million. Now come down 70%, 80%. Like, what? Who would? It's such a PvP area. And it's let's just don't do it. Of course, yes, high risk, high reward. We do also occasionally partake in these sort of stuff in my community, my VIP as well, and we have had some good success with them, the truth be told. But something like Yeezy, we weren't going to get into. Because it was such a high risk, high reward, to the point where, and we don't know what the top's going to be. Unless you got in right down here, which you only would have got in down there if you were in the insiders. Most people found out about it around here. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So be very careful what you get into. And tomorrow will be an interesting day. I think next week will be a lot better though, truth be told. You're also seeing the recovery starting next week as well, and that for me, once the recovery actually is confirmed, I think the next stop is going to be a new all-time high for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and Kaspa may hopefully surpass 10 cents therefore as well, especially considering that we're going to be within 1 week therefore of smart contracts, And again, more Bitcoiners looking at Kaspa, fantastic stuff as well. We have no idea who Coinbase is, unfortunately, but I'll hopefully find out soon enough. That seems to be the sentiment right now from retail, but again, we don't have confirmation just yet. Jerome Powell will give us some more clarity though. I think Kaspa will reach 1 billion before Bitcoin did. I do believe so as well. Kaspa will be the fastest growing asset in this space. It already is, but it'll be faster, the first to reach 100 bill, 1 trillion as well. It'll definitely be the fastest. Nothing stands a chance against Kaspa. Seemingly, that seems to be the case, definitely. It seems to be the case, you know. Again, that's what Uphold are saying. That's what Bitcoin Maxis are starting to realise as well in regards to its speed and stuff like that. Sompolinski is also bringing more recognition to that as well. Like, it does seem to be the case, very much so. Jackson Hole, Jackson Hole is going to happen. That's going to also be happening tomorrow as well. Should be interesting to say the least. Welcome back, Just the Next Crypto. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. Welcome back to the stream, my man. CGN Crypto pumps as well. Oh yes, of course, those two are also very, very bullish, and their content also does definitely bring more sentiment to the crypto and Kaspa community as well. So they do a good job, most definitely. Our tech is so sexy. I couldn't agree more. My PC's starting to lag, so I'm going to probably end up having my chat crash in a second. Fred is farming. He is a cuck. I mean, he is helping us right now, so, you know, all well and good. And yes, definitely Tony. Fires all around for Zebek and for crypto and for Kaspa. Drop Dead Fred, what year was that film? Gosh, you know what? It's losing me. What was that song? Yeah, I really can't remember. Hopefully someone was. I think it was 19. I think it might have been. Yeah, I can't think of it. I can hear it in my head, but I can't think of the name. Fred Kruger talking about Kaspa, maybe buy some more Kaspa today. Hey, you have to hear it, man. I mean, he's getting Bitcoiners to actually start looking into it. He makes a simple comment. Some guy, you know, agrees with him, and you have just Kaspa Lady doing her due diligence and her job as someone who's, you know, Kaspa Maxi, just spreading simple, polite awareness about Kaspa, giving some analogies, and effectively, and that's the thing, the best way to convince people who are ignorant, and that's not, I'm not trying to call them ignorant in a negative sense either, but the best way to convince someone who are ignorant is to make them prove themselves wrong. Made the comparison here about how Bitcoin is MySpace, and Ninja says, well, MySpace, you know, died because Facebook was better. It's like, well, that's the point. It's faster and better. Kaspa is faster than Bitcoin. So that's the exact comparison there. She literally used Ninja's own word against him. And I'm not trying to remotely come against Ninja at all. I'm very happy that he was open-minded enough to listen and equally then decide to look into more Kaspa. And you'll see more and more Bitcoiners come this way. I'm hoping and I'm expecting that Ninja's also tuning into Sompolinski's live right here. It's over 2.5 hours long. I'm going to tune into this and watch it on playback. That's going to be a 3-hour plus long podcast. It's going to be a blessing to listen to it, but it's going to be a long listen, to say the least. Bitcoin Takeover podcast with Sompolinski and Vlad's live day. Oh, I'm fully aware, and I do regret, in a sense, going live right now. But at the same time, it's still ongoing. Otherwise, when would I go live? I'm not going to be able to go live. I should be able to go live tomorrow. I'm not sure so much about. I know I can't go live on Saturday. I don't know about tomorrow. I have to see if I can go live tomorrow or not. But if I can somehow afford to go live, I know while I am probably stealing some of you very devoted members of mine and lovely community away from Sompolinski here, or listen at the same time again. Hopefully you could do both. I figured that, yes, it's still worth me making content about it at the very least. Now my chat did just crash, so I need to reload it all right now. It's partly because my PC is just well overclocked. Or not overclocked, just running overheated, or just too much content going on right now. So where was I? I was at Gosu here. Yep, right there. So yeah, welcome back again, brother. You're doing very, very well. They are fighting us. Yeah, we're literally in that final stage, penultimate stage. They fight us and they win. They fight us and then we win. We're literally about to win. Yeah, actually, let's get into this post real quickly as well regarding KBS. So it looks like the US and European Union have now reached a trade deal, which could be a really, really good thing. So, you know, fantastic stuff all around right now. US to impose 50% tariffs on EU imports. US to lower auto tariffs on the EU passes matching tariff cut legislation. For September 1st, US will apply only MFN tariffs on US aircraft parts. So ultimately, it seems like quite a big trade deal, but a good one nonetheless. So this is good to see. Again, less chance of trade war, and again, more investment coming back to the United States, which would be a good thing as well. Yeah, over 8 key people now watching that. Fantastic stuff, and it's growing more and more. It might be 10K by the time they actually wrap it up. Yeah, I'm seeing something about France there as well. Yeah, it's a shame. It's happening all over the world though. Even the UK is getting more and more dangerous, even close to where I live actually. Kaspa only. I know you like Kaspa only, I know. And honestly, from what we know is coming out, the sentiment's going more and more. I think it's worthwhile me hedging my bet still, but there probably will be a time where I'm Kaspa only. Maybe not too far off either. I think crime as a whole is going up right now because it's so hard to live in general right now. The cost of living is so hard that people have to resort to crime to vent their frustration or just to make some ends meet. It's not ideal, and I'm not saying you should do that either. I don't like it at all. But when the elites are just taking more and more of the capital, more and more of the money, then what can you do? Like, some people are. I mean, some of us are fortunate to be in the blessing predicament we're in right now, where we can get into early investments and make profits from it. At least we believe we will. But a lot of people don't even have that luxury. So we all got to do is just, I guess, keep it in our prayers. So imagine if we all use Kaspa, this would be a non-issue. 100%. There would be no issues at all with all this centralized rubbish and money issues and whatnot. Everyone loves Kaspa. We should be using it. It's easy to use and the fast 100%. Kaspa indeed. Sounds like a Packard. Hopefully he's doing well. Everyone loves Kaspa 100%. I need to buy more to hit 1 mil when Kaspa hits 1 bill. That would be insane. I hopefully all get to that much. Welcome back, Banana Republic, bro. My thing is, if stable coins are going to be huge and Kaspa adopts big stable coins like USDT, USDC, what would be the incentive for people to actually invest in Kaspa versus just putting their money in USDT? Because if Kaspa adopts USDT, USDC, and they're trading on the Kaspa platform, because it's the fastest and cheapest platform, they have to have Kaspa for the gas fee or for the transaction fee. So they have to own some Kaspa to be able to exchange Tether or Circle or any stablecoin or anything for that matter on the Kaspa protocol. That's the incentive to use it. Kaspa is more than just for payments. It's going to be also for decentralized security of information and whatnot. There's so many use cases you use for Kaspa right now, and more than we haven't even thought of, I'm sure. But the whole premise is the whole premise is, and the belief is that eventually everything will come onto Kaspa. So you'll be using maybe the Binance protocol or whatnot, or it's in the distant future. Binance Exchange, Coinbase Exchange, trading with Tether or Circle, whatever it may be. But if you're on the Kaspa protocol, Kaspa's a gas fee. So you've got to own Kaspa to be able to send transactions back and forth. So that's the incentive. That's the incentive for it. Only Satoshi himself would release tech like this fairly into the world. Anyone else would have monetized it and okay from start. I guess the speculation that Sompolinski is Satoshi is coming back again. Tomorrow could very well print a bottom. We could hit we could go a bit lower, but still most liquidity has been grabbed. I do believe so. I mean, again, I think right now we're seeing a pullback in anticipation for a hawkish stance from Jerome Powell, but at the same time, tomorrow could also potentially be the bottom. We come back to maybe 109, 108k Bitcoin. Ethereum come back to about 3.9k or so. Kaspa comes back down to 8 cents, and that point, hopefully, with there not being any immediate major catalyst from that point onwards, and of course then rate cuts still being on the horizon, people will be paying extremely close attention to durable goods, but more importantly, the job report on the Friday, September 5th, which is also a similar time to where this will be coming out as well, and smart contracts coming out, and then you'll see that bottom priced in, and the price of the market just start to go up as well for September. Because if we get no rate cuts in September, people will expect that. They'll be like, okay, cool, whatever then. They'll wait for ETFs and they'll wait for regulatory frameworks. Oh yeah, it's actually going insane right now. You know, and that's also a testament, and that's hopefully proof to him about how big Kaspa is. He's got more views live right now, currently live listening to this, a 3+ hour podcast about Bitcoin, Kaspa, proof of work and whatnot, more than his subscribers. You know, hopefully I get this sort of aura one day. You know, I heard Link got ISO 27001 and 20022 standard recently. The first. Any news for Kaspa on this? I have not heard about that, but if Chainlink does have that, that's very, very big for them. I know XRP and X7, those assets are also compatible with that standard as well. In regards to Kaspa, KRI, the ones focusing on that, they have tested with Swift already and ISO 20022 compatibility. So in that regard, I'm trying to, let me think. I think I posted it in my community. Let me quickly double check. If I type in KRI, I should have something about that. No, not there. No, not there. Oh, I meant to load that up. Oh, I'll load that up another time. Where is it? I can't find it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the video I did last month. They're talking about ISO 20022. When they test with Swift, that's also ISO 20022 as well. Where is it? Wait, what date? The date right now is... Okay, it should have been back here then. No, not there. Not there. No, not there. So I'm just looking at my community right now. I should probably play this whilst I'm waiting, actually. So sorry about that.
A concatenation and opcat. No, one trick. It is a heavy lifting for core devs. From the research and development perspective, it's a heavy lifting. But from the perspective of miners and full nodes, it will be a hard fork, but other than that, would be largely oblivious to the activity. And for the ecosystem as a whole, the aspiration is that this vision will look more like a monolithic, a cohesive building ecosystem and building tools, rather than the roll-up zero-sum game. I'm a happy.
Again, I do apologize for that. I just wanted to give people something to listen to whilst I was searching for it. I'm going to just play my clip here, the video that I made a month back, which basically kind of confirms their testing with Swift and therefore ISO compliance as well, which is a big thing to get updates on that. And then, I mean, yeah, I'm going to be watching back to Sompolinski's podcast probably tonight and over the weekend. I mean, 3 hours, I've got to tune in for quite some time for that, truth be told, but I'll find time. So it's very closely here to, well, the video I made regarding ISO 20022 and the Swift and Kaspa as well. Hosting these incredible spaces every Monday. Alpha information KI. Significant engine to launch the projects and give these institutions.
Birthday the other day, actually, but KI is 1 year old. But we now have and have been testing the rails for Warp Core and the ISO 20022 transactions. We've run the whole suite of tests from Swift. So we now have to go through the whole regulatory and compliance piece with a number of institutions and with the Swift organization themselves. But we've successfully completed on mainnet a lot of those test transactions. So I just thought I'd like to share that with you.
If they complete a lot of test transactions with Swift, then they're looking to ISO 20022 compliance, because Swift is becoming ISO 20022 compliant by November this year. I'm pretty sure he did mention that. I'll see if I can find the blockchain banter. It was week. Which week was it? Oh, I can't remember. I'll find it and I'll repost it in my community once again in due time. But Kaspa will be compliant with ISO 20022, which is therefore for banks as well, which is a very big deal. And I'll bring more adoption to Kaspa as well. Welcome back, LB bro. You're doing very, very well. Tagged you on X. Thank you very much, brother. I will have a look at that. I'm going to look at it on my other monitor real quick. Just not because I'm distrustful, because I don't want to load up anything that I may not be allowed to show. Tag me on X. Arthur Hayes. Okay, interesting. Alright, well, I'll quickly load that up then, and then load this up real quick actually. Go to 6 minute 53. I said this to you in the comment section. Trump will look like God in May. Okay. This will be the last thing I'll do before we shut off for today. We'll go back to listen to Sompolinski, hopefully. If he's still alive by then. 6 minutes. You said 53.
My main thesis, and this is basically all. I think that Trump and Besson are just setting up such a perfect situation for how money is going to be printed post 2026 in May. And I guess listen to a CNBC interview with Zarvos, one of the Fed chair hopefuls, and like if that guy gets in, Bitcoin will be at like 15 million because he's just going to do yield curve control, printing money, immediate 300 basis point cuts, all sorts of things. So I think Trump and Besson have laid out exactly what they want to do: run it hot, inflationary, all these sorts of things. Powell is the only thing standing in their way, and come hell or high water, Trump will get what he wants. The question is, how difficult is it? Whether he has to fire Powell, or there's just ways to do it. I think.
I have heard what other things are talking about. I think I've mentioned it in the past. Where he says it's like there's like $15 million opportunity for Bitcoin right now, based on the level of capital that's like sitting on the sidelines, and also with certain markets coming into it as well. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I listen to the whole thing and go from there. But I mean, by and large, the long and short of that message really from Arthur Haytham, as we talk about, I actually mentioned it in my Discord community. Where was it? I was speaking to who was I speaking to? I was talking to, was it Edeka? I think it was Edeka. Yeah, I was talking to Edeka. Just trying to find the message right now, and it's the same thing. I try to tweet it quite a lot in the community, and I still say it now, and I say it a lot, and more so in my VIP as well. But we're just so early. Like it's unbelievable how early we still are. Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, right here. I was saying that right here, like saying to Erica here when she was talking about, I was like, people don't see the mature nature of crypto from the casino to a technological revolution. And it's just social media and TikTok, but people have short attention spans, so they just become impatient. They don't realize that crypto is a long-term game. That's why we're here in Kaspa, because Kaspa is also a long-term game. I mean, that's not saying you won't do all the cycle. I think we still will, but it is a long-term plan. We're still very, very early, and the level of capital that will be coming through in the coming months and years is going to be insane. This is not ideal, the market right now, but it's not changed the plan for Kaspa. The fact that it is by and large perceived by big companies and institutions as the next essential and inevitable step in the evolution of blockchain. Bitcoin is starting to look more and more to Kaspa as well. It looks like the live stream's just finished now. At least I believe it has. Or is it still ongoing? It's still ongoing.
And I deliberately combine you.
8.8k right now. It's rallying up more and more. It's insane. So yeah, we else again got a lot more to come out. So that will conclude today's stream, family. I might go live tomorrow. If not, then it'll probably end up being live on Sunday, because I won't be going live on Saturday 100%. That being said, tune into Sompolinski's podcast once again. I'll be listening to it on playback myself, because I've got a lot to go through. I mean, it's 3 hours 14 minutes right now. Give me that on like 2 times speed, hopefully, and hopefully catch up as soon as I can do. But that being said, if you enjoyed, as always, family, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more. Thank you all for the donations and the support once more. If you get to 50 likes, that'd be fantastic if possible. Mr. Miles is here. I can see you. I'll at least say hello to you before I leave, so you don't end up crying on Discord later on. He's always number one, indeed. If someone would give me mod status, I could share. I don't think you can share links on the chat, unfortunately. I mentioned yesterday Trump wanted to look like a hero next year for midterm. Yeah, it could be the case. Honestly, it could be the case. I don't see Mr. Miles on X. I'm pretty sure I follow him because he made me follow him. Let me see if I have to go through my thingy real quick. I mean, you could also just post it in the Discord server. I don't mind you doing that. I mean, as long as you ask for permission to do it, I don't mind. Following. I should go to following. Sorry, I'm just doing this because Mr. Miles will cry otherwise. Actually, do I follow you? I should follow you, but I remember my Twitter went through a really weird thing where it removes a lot of people who are following it, remove them for some reason. I should follow you. I mean, you follow me, so you could always just send me an @ and then if I'm not, I'll follow. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's his Twitter. I mean, if you really want to follow, this interesting character of Mr. Mars, then that's his @ on Twitter. Have at it. Are you sure? Because I was told whenever I share links, it doesn't work. I mean, either way. But that being said, yeah, I can't with you. That being said, family, that'll be for today's stream. Tune into Sompolinski's ongoing podcast. You haven't been doing so already. A lot's coming to Kaspa. Bitcoin Maxis converting more and more. Great news. Binance seems to be preparing potentially to list Kaspa. I should start posting more. Yeah, I mean, I do it myself, Mr. Miles. I post as much as I can do. And we got some relatively interesting stuff coming very, very soon as well. Any humpback whales here? Not unfortunately. 100% sure you can share links from a mod. Okay, well, again, I eventually, I promise you I will. You will be a mod. But I was saying it as well. The reason why I don't want to give you mod status just yet is because I kind of appreciate how free-spirited you are. And I know you said that you'd be more serious at the mod. And I don't want to take that feeling away from you just yet. Eventually you might have to be removed that, but, you know, gives you a bit of freedom while you can still joke about a bit more. Anyways, that being said, have a great day, good evening, good night, family. Thank you all for tuning in once more. Probably, I don't know, actually. It's a great question. Maybe the former. But yeah, that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one, family. Have a good evening. And yeah, big stuff on to Kaspa still. More to crypto still. If you want to find out more information like this stuff as well, alpha information, check out the VIP. Have a great day, good evening, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.